Hello everyone, it's your friend Rick. If you need to contact me for the paperwork with a donation, you need to contact me at rick0327@me.com. Alright, quick video. Rick, do I notarize it? Rick, do I send it certified mail? And this is coming from people that that I've exchanged emails with. Yes. Always, guys, you can never get in trouble notarizing things. You can never get in trouble certified mail. What you're notarizing that's the specific date, and that's a witness. And you're swearing that what's contained in your paperwork is true and accurate. And you can write that on the bottom. All contained here is true and accurate. Even if you want to get clever, say under penalty of perjury, stating that if I'm lying, I just committed a perjurious act. Okay. Okay. Now. I've been doing some digging, and I'm really confident in what I've discovered, in the last couple of weeks. But I told you, I got to be vague because, I'm sorry, but I can't give away the keys to the store. You know what I'm saying? That's my value, okay? I put a lot of hard work into this. I've almost been arrested a few times fighting for this cause. If you watch my videos, you'll see I go at it with these people. Okay, I was in a room one time surrounded by 12 court officers wearing leather gloves 3 years ago. I counted 10 wearing leather gloves, surrounded me in a hearing, supposed hearing. And you know why? Because I threatened to arrest the sport magistrate. In my paperwork, I notified that I'm going to effect the citizen's arrest. And nothing happened to me. I walked out and some guy went like, "What are you going to do with those gloves?" Good. And I told one lieutenant, I said, "Listen, you guys try anything with me, I'm going to put a few of you in the hospital. Because I'm very good with these things, all right?" I got about 30 street fights under my belt, legit. I didn't grow up in some, suburb somewhere, okay? I grew up in Queens, New York, pretty tough neighborhood. A lot of fights. And I'm trained. I got trained, I'm trained by the FBI and stuff, and I taught, defensive tactics stuff, and it becomes second nature. About 7 years ago, I was at my daughter's high school, and I always joke around saying I have rotten luck. I have a black cloud over my head. Well, what happened was that day was a friend of mine was putting his dog to sleep. So he's like, "Rick, could you come with me? Help me." So I went with him, helped him, brought the dog to the vet, sad. So I look at my watch. Because my daughter's getting out of school. And this was my daughter's senior year. I go there, and her school, she went to Christ the King High School in Queens. Very good basketball team. A lot of pro ball players came out of there. Anyways, the way in is one way in and one way out. So I had to go downhill. As I'm leaving, Daddy. Turns out my daughter's boyfriend had a beef with some guy. The guy's father was there. Some big jerk. This guy was a big dude. And make a long story short, he mushed my nephew, and I fucking knocked him out. And then the cops. It was a voting day, and a cop was on the corner, saw the whole mass of the students and everything. He stayed there, didn't move this fucking guy. So after I knocked this guy on the ground, the first thing he does is like, "Oh, I'm calling the cops." Big tough guy came to beat up high school kids. confronted me like a tough guy. You know, I was trying to avoid trouble. I just said to him, I go, listen, I don't have a problem. But if anything happens to my daughter, we're going to have a problem. And his whole face changed when I said that. But anyway, he didn't know that was my nephew, and he mushed my nephew. You know, I fucking gave him a crack. He went down and he's like, oh, I'm calling the cops. He pulls out the phone like a faggot and calls, and by the way, if I say faggot, I don't mean it derogatory. Where I grew up, we meant that as like being a pussy. Anyway, so the cops driving by, I flag him down. I'm like, this guy here is he just called 911. He called 911, this guy's giving my plate number. You ain't gonna believe it. I mean, this is the luck that I had, you know? And the big tough guy, you know, came to beat up high school kids, and when he got tough with me, I knocked him out. Or when he mushed my nephew, I knocked him out. And when he got up, after I knocked him down, calling the cops. So while I'm talking to the cops, I hear my daughter scream. This fucking guy japs me from behind, hits me 2 shots. And as I did it, and this is the point I'm trying to make. You know, it takes me a long time to make a point, so bear with me. My instincts took over, and I just flipped him over my hip, threw him on the ground. I took the handcuffs out of the cop's hand, who was a complete fucking zero, this guy, and I cuffed the guy myself. And that you know, that's the training I have. And I also have a temper, so I got to be careful. That's why I try to avoid problems. That's why I always say to you guys, I like to avoid a punch if I can. So that's why I always try to avoid problems. So anyway, I was making a point. So yes, you got to notarize the letters, send it certified. Oh, because I was surrounded by the court officers, and you know, I've done a lot of things. I put a lot of research in. My wife should have left me a few times over this nonsense. You know, this took a lot out of my life, and I'm good at it. So you know what? People know, yeah, I'm asking for a donation to get my paperwork, which is a lot for what I'm asking, and you won't be disappointed, especially what I discovered. Okay, you know, what I've discovered is we're bypassing the courts now. The courts are just there as a ruse to give you the impression that you're getting due process, which we know we're not. It's a complete, you know, it's a complete setup to give you the impression that you're giving it. You're not. It's a kangaroo court, and when listen, if anybody's out there who watches my video, if you got an upcoming court hearing, receive notice in the mail that that they're gonna start garnishing your check, you might want to think about reaching out to me, because you only got 30 days to prove that there's a debt. Okay? They don't tell you these things. It's out there, it's out there. The information's out there, but they're not going to tell you where to find it. I found it. Right? And I've been doing this for a while now. All right? And I'm the only guy I know, talks about it. I mean, I'm sure Osiris knows about it. He's been at this longer than me, so I'm not talking about him, obviously. But I'm talking about, other channels. And, and we're bypassing these people. And what we're doing is we're verifying or validating the debt, which is the hardest thing to do. Because if you can't prove a debt, they got to discharge it. Okay? But I know who to go to now. Okay? So, if you're interested in getting the paperwork, okay? Even if you got to borrow a couple of dollars, it's not a lot of money, reach out to me. You won't be disappointed. Okay? Everybody that's received my paperwork, they're not being ignored anymore. Okay? They may not be getting the response that they like, but that's okay. Them responding is proof that they have to. They're not just throwing it in the garbage. Okay? And we're getting good at this. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Yes, you got to notarize it. Yes, send a certified mail. Okay? All right, guys. Bye.